When I was in high school, I used to buy those 15-cent women's magazines, like Woman's Day and Family Circle. And I'd look through for recipes that I thought would sound good. And I clip them out and even clip out the picture. And I made my own recipe binder. Something I plan to use when I had my own family. Now, don't laugh, but remember, back then, there wasn't an internet. And there wasn't all these food blogs and even AI-generated menus. I had to read and clip and paste. And that's how I made my recipe binder. Guess what? I still do it. But no, not for regular recipes, but for my shelf-stable recipes. This binder is what I turn to if we lose power for an extended period of time. I have a lot of great recipes in here that I can still make enjoyable meals for my family. I kind of call it my just-in-case cookbook. It's my backup plan. What happens when the Wi-Fi's down? And dinner, well, it still needs to happen. So this is completely analog, and I think it is essential. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why this is important to have, some online resources where you can find a lot of great recipes, and links to the Shelf-Stable Pantry collaboration, which has over 100 recipes. So let's get to it. So having a hard copy of your best shelf-stable recipes, it's not just nostalgia. I think it's preparedness. When the lights go out, you can't Google how to make bread without yeast, for instance. But you can flip open your binder. Here, let's look at some things here. So, can you see that page? Yeah, it has how to make skillet lasagna mix, chicken rice soup mix. And on the other side, we have potato soup mix and very veggie tortellini soup. All great things to have. And I continually work at adding to this binder. It's my culinary survival guide. Every recipe in here uses ingredients that don't need refrigeration. Things that I would find on my pantry shelves. It could be canned, either store-bought or home canned, dehydrated, or freeze-dried items. Now, a few years back, I hosted the Shelf-Stable Pantry Recipes collaboration. And it resulted in over 100 shelf-stable recipes from a variety of wonderful and inventive YouTube creators. And I have the links down below so you can access these recipes and print them off if there's something you're interested in and put it in your very own binder. It's a gold mine for anybody working on their emergency preparedness. This binder, it could literally save dinner and your sanity. So you might think, why bother with paper? I can just back up what's online. Well, batteries die, Wi-Fi drops, and cell towers, well, they can fail. But hard copy, well, unless you have a fire, is there all the time to help you. So I call it a power out survival tool, not just a cookbook. If I can't cook it in one of the methods I have, be it on my gas stovetop, my butane burner stove, my grill, or even a campfire, then it doesn't belong in that book. Now, I've made various tabs here. I have, main courses. And then sides and sweets. And other, which could be things like this. Non-fat dry milk. It tells you how much to use, how much water to add. And then it also has a whole bunch of, for instance, non-fat dry milk recipes, such as how to make a pudding mix or the magic mix, right? This is invaluable. And when I'm making something, often I'll add a little post-it or write on it about, how much water did it take to cook, how long, any substitution ideas, those type of things. Because to me, those notes are gold when you can't ask Google. Now, something that's important, of course, is to have a cooking method you can use when the power goes out. So always test alternative cooking methods, such as cooking over a campfire, or using a butane stove, baking bread in a Dutch oven with heated coals, using your solar cooker, or even a candle or sterno setup for heating soup. All of those are important, but you have to know how to use them safely. Can you do it indoors or outdoors? That can make the difference. Now I have some books in my library to help. Solar Cooking for Home and Camp. And that is by Linda Frederick Yaffe. And then Dutch Oven Cast Iron Cooking, great for the campfire. And the Cast Iron Skillet Cookbook. And that is by Dominique DeVito. And I have links down below if you're interested. And I have many other books that I can turn to as a resource. Now, I have a list for you that includes a lot of online resources for shelf-stable recipes, and then you can view them and print them and clip your recipes and put them in your own binder. I mean, look at this. This is from the Houston Emergency Preparedness Cookbook. The pumpkin pie oatmeal sounded delicious and nutritious. And they also give great off-grid cooking instructions like campfire hobo packets, or something I am going to try, the spicy Asian peanut noodles, which you could just make with thin spaghetti. So here's one from Texas, Dark Sky Bean Burger. And it's not just for the vegetarians in your family. Doesn't it look good? And this also shows you how to safely cook with butane. Then let's turn to Florida. Corn pancakes. What a great idea. And then, I've never made popcorn on the grill. So here's instructions. I mean, popcorn, what a great snack. And the kernels, before you pop them, keep on your shelves for a long, long time. Or how about Food Storage Made Easy, which is a great site. But they also have a free downloadable reader recipe cookbook. And look at this, Dutch oven biscuit cobbler. Wow, I know my family would love that, and it's so easy. And how about survival bread made with Jell-O? Or did you know you could use powdered creamer in making cornbread? Utah State University has these wonderful hiker bars made with peanut butter, honey, and cereal. They're just the perfect energy snacks. And then Recipes for Disaster. What a great name. Has creative dishes like this orange curry chickpeas. And then another great name, Troubled Times Trifle. And the Prepper's Pantry Cookbook is loaded with ready-to-mix soup, jar recipes, and meal starters. And these are a real time saver during an emergency. And I have other links in the description below also. And I urge you, check them out. But if you know of a link I haven't listed that has great shelf-stable recipes, put it in the comments section so we all can share. So whether you're dealing with a power outage, living off grid, are just trying to stretch your pantry. I think this binder, it could be your best friend. Digital is convenient, but paper is reliable. And when dinner is going to depend on what's in your pantry and your creativity, well, you'll be glad you printed that recipe. So I hope this video inspired you to make your own binder and to collect shelf-stable recipes. And here's a link to some of those that were in the shelf-stable recipe collaboration. Enjoy, and always, always share the knowledge. Thank you.